Good morning, everyone. I'm Yongjie, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the cyberbullying webinar. Cyberbullying has been the cause of numerous tragedies in the past few years, and it still continues to do so even today. According to a UNICEF report, Malaysia ranked second in Asia in terms of youth cyberbullying in 2020, indicating that cyberbullying has become an increasingly prominent problem in our country. The popularity of social platforms has led to the growth of cyberbullying, and it's not only among teenagers, but also among adults. Cyberbullying is bullying with the use of digital technologies, and it can take place on social media, messaging platforms, gaming platforms, and mobile phones. It is repeated behavior aimed at scaring, angering, or shaming those who are targeted. There are many types of cyberbullying, such as spreading lies about or posting embarrassing photos or videos of someone on social media, impersonating someone and sending mean messages to others on their behalf or through fake accounts. Face-to-face bullying and cyberbullying can often happen alongside each other. But cyberbullying leaves a digital footprint, which is a record that can prove useful and provide evidence to help stop the abuse. But cyberbullying can also make bullying spread faster, and the inclusion of many internet users who don't know the facts can cause even more psychological damage to the victim. And even that damage can extend to real life. So there are 4 reasons that can cause cyberbullying. The first reason is lack of empathy. Technology enables people to distance themselves from a situation even while they are in it. Cyberbullies cannot see the pain they cause, and those cannot imagine the turmoil they put their victims through. In fact, many cyberbullies who were questioned after the fact say that the act made them feel funny and powerful. The second reason is self-loathing. Studies have found that there is a strong connection between previous victims and the current cyberbullies. Much like violence in real life, virtual bullying is a perpetuating cycle of anger. Therefore, the problem continues to cycle and get worse each time. And the last reason is cyberbullies believe they won't get caught. The anonymity of the internet gives cyberbullies a false sense of security. They believe if they post things anonymously, that they won't get caught. What's more, people who cyberbully do not necessarily see the reaction of the victim, so which makes it extremely easy to say and do things they would not otherwise do. In fact, the significant number of people who do not bully face-to-face will still engage in cyberbullying. In addition to focusing on the perpetrator, cyberbullying must also focus on the psychological or mental state of the victim. In order to prevent the growth of cyberbullying, it is important to understand the laws and the basic educational issues involved. How does Malaysia provide victim protection? What are the platforms for victims to seek help? And how does the law punish perpetrators? All these questions will be answered in this video. So today, we have invited 4 experts to conduct the webinar. They are Ms. Josie from MCMC Malaysia, Ms. Vicky, a professor of psychology, Ms. Piki from the Cyberbullying Counseling Center, and the last one is our lawyer, Ms. Teo. So we will start from our lawyer, Ms. Teo.
Hi everyone, I'm a lawyer specializing in cyber-related legal practice, such as cyber information security, cyber intellectual property cases, and cyber criminal cases. It's believed that the widespread use of the internet and social media is one of the factors contributing to the increasing frequency of cyberbullying incidents. As smartphones become more common and internet access increases in popularity, some students choose to use the internet as a platform rather than bullying their classmates at school. This phenomenon does not only occur in teenagers but also in adults who have moved to other platforms to carry out attacks. Cyberbullying has become a social problem, yet existing laws and policies are insufficient to provide public confidence and protect cyber users from cyberbullying. Here are some examples of cyberbullying cases that a property agent who was branded a fraudster on social media by a user after transaction involving the latter's house fell through. MCCA contacted the person who circulated the false information. When they told him legal action can be taken against him, he immediately deleted his social media post and even apologized to the property agent concerned. The convenience of the internet provides opportunities for bullies to hurt others, either consciously or unconsciously. But it is difficult for victims to obtain support from existing laws. But being bullied does not necessarily mean being intimidated. If the victim is called a dwarf, could this constitute a criminal offense of insulting another person by words or gestures? Therefore, it is difficult for the existing criminal code to be refined or to regulate cyberbullying. Section 221 of the Malaysian Multimedia and Communication Act, which prohibits individuals from distributing offensive or objectionable content, is the closest thing to cyberbullying of any law. After consulting the Act guidelines, it was found that more obscene, violent, scary, and insulting content would fit the definition of offensive and unpleasant content. However, the guidelines have no legal effect, and the law does not clearly state what is considered offensive and unpleasant. The lack of detail in the law does not deter or punish cyberbullying. Since there is no law to regulate cyberbullying in Malaysia, people should report cyberbullying to the police and attach screenshot of online message as evidence. The Malaysian Communication and Multimedia Content Forum, CMCF, can help complainants identify and investigate online defamation, and once the bully's negligence is confirmed, the council can either verbally warn the person to withdraw the online message or charge him. There is a problem here, however, in that the law itself does not provide protection, and we must instead rely on the police or the council, depending on whether they are willing to investigate. In my point of view, cyberbullying should be classified as a serious crime in Malaysia. Virtual or cyberbullying has a more profound impact on victims of bullying than physical bullying. Victims of cyberbullying often experience extreme depression because cyberbullying achievements are more prevalent in cyberspace than in the real world. If comprehensive preventive measures are not taken against this problem, it is certain that this cyberbullying misconduct will become increasingly catastrophic. The lack of a specific legal framework to prevent cyberbullying is a problem that needs to be addressed through appropriate legislation. And there should be an ongoing review of existing laws that govern and regulate the use of social media. Compared with Malaysia's cyber laws provisions, Singapore has implemented a cyberbullying law through the Protection Forum Harassment Act enacted in 2014. Besides, in the United Kingdom, while there is no specific law against cyberbullying, there is several pieces of legislation to prosecute cases involving online communications. And the last, Ireland has enacted a new bill on harassment and harmful offline and online communication through the Harassment, Harmful Communications and Related Offences Act 2020, which was passed in February 2021. That's all.
So thanks for sharing, Ms. Teo. Let's welcome our next expert, Josie from NCMC Malaysia.
Hi everyone, I'm Josie Lim, a commission member of the Malaysian Communication and Multimedia Commission, MCMC, and I was appointed as a commission member since 2020. Before I start, some of you might be unfamiliar with what MCMC is, and I will give a brief introduction. Firstly, our role is to regulate the communication and multimedia industries based on the Malaysian Communication and Multimedia Commission Act 1998 and the Communication and Multimedia Act 1998. Moreover, we oversee the new regulatory framework for the converging telecommunications, broadcasting industry, and online activities. Additionally, we have overseen the postal service sector under the Postal Service Act 2012 and license certification authorities under the Digital Signature Act 1997 since 2001. After listening to the long list of roles I just mentioned, you may ask, so how does MCMC help to reduce the case of cyberbullying? So, MCMC provides channels for people to lodge complaints through the website http://adown.skmm.gov.my or any other complaint channels such as email and WhatsApp. After people lodge their complaints by detailing the report's contents and providing supporting documents, MCMC will acknowledge receipt of your complaints with the reference number within 3 days. The next step is to await MCMC investigation result within 15 days from the date of the complaint. That's what we are doing to reduce cyberbullying. According to the STAR in 2021, a total of 6,000 cyberbullying and harassment complaints were received by the MCMC from 2020 to July 2021. To be honest, MCMC investigate only 6% of online harassment complaints since 2016. Although it sounds like passing the buck, but actually this is due to the characteristic of cyberbullying which make it more difficult to investigate. Cyberbullying is different from traditional bullying. It is important to note that cyberbullying has the potential to be more pervasive than traditional bullying. In contrast to traditional bullying, cyberbullying can occur anywhere, anytime, and it has a huge potential audience, which means hard to track the perpetrators. Besides, compared to traditional bullying, cyberbullying lacks of supervision. For example, a teacher is considered an enforcer in traditional bullying. However, there's no clear authority exists in cyberbullying. Furthermore, while traditional bullying is overt, such as pushing or damaging belongings, cyberbullying happens through mobile phones, computers, or tablets, which makes it more difficult to detect. The trickiest thing is that cyberbullying can be done anonymously, and this is the hardest type of case to investigate as it needs more time and effort, and it might be all in vain in the end. Personally, I believe MCMC should work with police and other law enforcement officials. The reason is just in 2020 alone, MCMC received over 11,000 complaints about cyber offense, include cyberbullying. It's hard to handle and investigate the large number of complaints with only MCMC. That's why I think MCMC should cooperate with other law enforcement officials, such as the Royal Malaysian Police, PDRM, and the Ministry of Communication and Multimedia Malaysia, KKMM. Although MCMC had been working with PDRM on tracking down the administrator of the Joker Aruban Facebook page, whose cyberbullying allegedly drove a 20-year-old woman in Penang to commit suicide in 2020, but it is not enough, as this is the only news we could found that clearly shows MCMC is cooperating with the police. Lastly, I could say cyberbullying is hard to stop at the program stage, as victims of cyberbullying often suffer in silence. The Cyberbullying Research Center, which has been collecting data on the subject since 2007, reports that 27.8% of teens self-report being cyberbullied. However, this is a significant underreporting, since 70% of students in middle and high school reported cyberbullying over a decade-long Florida Atlantic University study. This means that most cyberbullying incidents go unreported or rarely results in intervention by law enforcement. This undoubtedly makes it more difficult to stop cyberbullying, as we don't know what is happening. But I want to say that this is definitely not the victim's fault for not reporting it, and the purpose I said it is not to blame them. That's all for my sharing.
Thank you, Ms. Josie, for MCMC. Now let's welcome our psychologist, Ms. Hugh.
Hi, I'm Vicky, and I work as counseling psychologist. I'm honored to be part of today's webinar to inform everyone more about cyberbullying. Nowadays, the increased risk of suicide due to cyberbullying, which is considered more severe than traditional bullying, is a big issue. Cyberbullying is frequently linked to psychological distress. Cyber victims are more likely to suffer from depression, anxiety, and insomnia. But cyberbullies are more likely to suffer from extrovert aggression, hyperactivity, and sustained abuse. Despite the fact that we all realize how cyberbullying may cause harm to the victims and provide indulgence to the abuser, there are still numerous incidents of cyberbullying in our society. Many people frequently ask me, why do people want to cyberbullying? So now I will answer the question. First of all, people who feel isolated or alone in society may be cyberbullies. If they feel ignored by others, they may express themselves to make themselves feel better or take their anger out of society. They believe that this behavior makes them feel visible and noticed by others. This form of bullying is common among those who believe the world has passed them by or that everyone else is out there having fun while they are alone. Furthermore, teenagers who are not loved and cared for in their families are more likely to bully others online. They usually do not receive attention and affirmation at home and are frequently treated with beatings by their elders. This causes them to harbor ill will towards everyone else and as a result engage in cyberbullying against others. The reason why people cyberbullying is not only in their personalities but also in their environments. And knowing this reason helps us understand the bully's motivation and how we may avoid cyberbullying from the start. Now, from a psychological standpoint, I will discuss numerous reasons why and how bullies select their victims. Why do bullies choose their victims from among many? To begin with, teenagers and young adults are more vulnerable. This is because they lack the mental ability to distinguish between what is right and wrong. As a result, most young people who are cyberbullied feel trapped and they feel they can't get away. Furthermore, the bullies may have targeted the victim out of revenge or jealousy. This could be caused by a problem in friendship or a breakup in relationship. They may engage in cyberbullying against the victim with a vengeful or angry attitude, thinking that such behavior will relieve their grievances and punish the victim in the way they believe is right for them. Not only that, some bullies select the victims based on their characteristics. The bullying party may prefer to target those who are shy, unsociable, or have difficulty adapting. Because of their personalities, bullies may believe that they are weak and will not fight back. And bullies' behavior towards victims can make them feel powerful, in control and command of the victim. This implies that bullies select their victims in a variety of ways, but the one I have described just one of them. The number of bullying parties is rapidly increasing, which means that the number of victims is also increasing. Why cyberbullies become more common? The answer to this question is that, in addition to bullies not being punished, victims do not ask for help. To begin with, victims are afraid to seek help from others because of the embarrassment and shame they feel from being bullied. Bullying is about power and control, and being a target can make teenagers feel helpless or weak. Sometimes teenagers are bullied because they are already sensitive to something, such as physical feature. In other situations, the abuser may blame the victim for something they did. In both situations, individuals are frequently embarrassed to talk about it with anyone. When they talk about bullying, they may have to underline their weakness to others. For some children, the thought of sharing is in an adult is worse than bullying itself. Sometimes victims believe that reporting a bully will have no effect. They not only feel powerless, but they also feel that speaking up will simply make the situation worse. Many teenagers would rather face the storm alone than risk worsening the situation. They may even feel that if they keep quiet, the bullying will stop. Last, victims are afraid to seek help because they are threatened by bullies. The bullies may threaten the victims with private image or video, threatening that if they inform anybody about the incidents, the photo will be released on the internet or spread around. The bullies may also use harsh language to make the victims fearful of revenge if they ask for help. This treat dissuades the victims from seeking support. In conclusion, I conduct a psychological analysis of both the bully and the victim in order to raise public awareness and understanding. By addressing their motivation and needs, we can prevent the worst consequences of cyberbullying. From victims' perspective, we can also provide the best and most timely assistance. Let us work together to make our cyberspace more peaceful and harmonious. That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, our psychologist, Miss Hill. And next, let's welcome our cyberbullying counselor, ETCB, Miss Fong.
Hi, my name is Fong Pek Chi, a cyberbullying counselor from ETCB, the End Through Cyberbullying organization. We hope to help teens, parents, educators, and others to identify, prevent, and ultimately stop cyberbullying and inform the public about the severe consequences of cyberbullying in the hopes of creating a social networking world devoid of cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is one of the issues that most counselors are familiar with. Whether bullying occurs in the schoolyard or online, it can be life-changing. Counselors who see individuals harmed by bullying can have a big impact in helping them to recover and cope. One of the main challenges counselors face in treating clients who have been cyberbullied is that victims may be reluctant to tell a teacher, a parent, or a trusted adult about the bullying. According to numerous Kids Health, the Physical Review Information website, children may feel fearful or ashamed of the bullying, or they may be worried that their electronic devices may be taken away from them. Because cyberbullying can often be viewed as ritual of youth and brushed aside, counselors should work to improve their openness and accessibility to encourage students to speak out. When we as counselors encounter a child who has been cyberbullied, the first thing we need to do is empathize. Give the child full emotional support so they can recover from the trauma more swiftly. For example, with these words, "Child, I know you must be very upset, angry, or scared right now. I'm heartbroken that you are going through all this. If you are still sad, I will be there for you. You can cry if you want to. Your parents and I will be here for you. All these things will pass, and together we can make it all better." This is to give the child two signals. First, to endorse that the child's feelings are reasonable. The belief that being seen is the beginning of healing is the basis of counseling. When a child's negative emotions are accepted, he or she will know that they are now secure and that the nightmare is over. Second, to let the children know that they have the power to put an end to all grief. Only once youngsters fully comprehend this will they be more likely to actively seek a way out of every dangerous or painful circumstances. At this point, extra caution should be given with language. Remember to avoid using hurtful insults. Never say, "How can you be so coward to let someone bully you like that? How can he doesn't bully others? It must be your bad. You only know how to cry. No wonder they bully you." Never do that, please. If the trauma is mild, music therapy can help the youngster regulate breathing while listening to soothing music and engaging in easy meditation exercises. If the child is severely traumatized, hand it over to a professional counselor who has a range of professional interventions such as hypnosis, meditations, and etc. The child will be able to recover from the trauma more easily after a few sessions. When the child's emotions have stabilized, it is time to start guiding them on a rational level, assisting them in analyzing the situations, causes, and coming up with solutions. First, we must return to the cause of the problem. Why is this child bullying you? Does he want you to help him with his homework? Jealous of your good grades? Bullying you for not getting good enough grades? And so how do we get to solve this problem? Then let your child think of their own ways of dealing with it. Should they join other bullied students to warn the bully? talk to the teacher and seek protection from the school? Or should the children decide for themselves whether to fight back or not? At the same time, make sure to emphasize to the child that using violence to stop violence is a last resort because violence can escalate. It is hard to predict who it will eventually hurt, so we don't use it until it is absolutely necessary. Lastly, it is important to tell children clearly, you are not to be bullied. We must make sure that our children are fully aware that no one can bully me and I should not go against the grain. Remember, when you encounter a child who is a victim of cyberbullying, don't be stingy with your help. You may be able to save his or her life by lending a hand. That is the end of my sharing today. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Fong, our cyberbullying counselor. Just to recap, Ms. Teo as a lawyer gave us information on the legal terms and she taught people how to report cyberbullying to the police, like attaching screenshots of online messages as evidence. Our second expert, Ms. Josie, a commission member of the MCMC, shared that MCMC provides channels for people to lodge complaints through the website, email, or WhatsApp. They will acknowledge a complaint within 3 days and their investigation result will be released within 15 days. Our third expert, Ms. Hugh, a counseling psychologist, shared about some cases on cyberbullying and why people want to cyberbully. Lastly, our fourth expert, Ms. Fong from ETCB, talked about how she helped people who have been cyberbullied and what they encounter as counselors. In order to make a difference in the world, we can start by educating ourselves, then educate others. We can educate kids from young by giving them a formal definition of cyberbullying. Give them examples they might actually experience using the online activities they are most likely to use. At the very least, be patient and ask a child about the problem in general. What is cyberbullying? Does he or she know someone who is being bullied? What should they do when they notice acts of bullying? It is essential that we spread knowledge among kids so that they keep in mind from an early age. Apart from this, awareness is powerful. It changes social perceptions. Put cyberbullying in the spotlight of a classroom. Students should be taught that it is okay to report abuse when they observe it and that they should report it immediately if they see it. It is important to break the silence surrounding cyber abuse. Victims often do not report abuse for several reasons because they fear retribution from peers, have anxiety that adults will remove computer or cell phone access. It is important for kids to know that it is not technology that is the problem, but the misuse of technology. Furthermore, if your friends are cyberbullies, we could advise them by explaining to them how hurtful their actions are. If a friend is being cyberbullied, we shouldn't ignore it. It is essential to lend a helping hand to them. Your support may just be what they need to overcome the problem. And when we face cyberbullying, the first step is to seek help from someone you trust, such as your parents, a close family member, or another trusted adult. Is there an NGO I can speak to for counseling or help? Yes, there are several organizations in Malaysia that can provide help. It's Befrienders Malaysia, which is online 24 hours daily. Protect and Save the Children, their working time is from Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Lastly, Women's Center for Changes, working time is also from Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So, how do you report online abuse? You can report to Cyber 999 via email, SMS, phone call, or app mobile Cyber 999 on the App Store or Google Play. Call the National 24-hour hotline 15999 to report abuse, bullying, neglect, and so on. Always keep in mind that you are not alone. There are many parties willing to lend a hand if needed. So, please do not give up on yourself. Thank you.